Welcome. Day 24. And we are starting to stream mainly because of news release. I remember now that the time clock has moved backwards. Therefore, everything is now an hour back. So we have negative USD and yet negative CAD news just applying. And wow, we are having some interesting effects. We are in this trade, which is NZD Swiss franc. This is when we got in around here. That you see this blue candlestick right here. This vertical line is when we got in. And with our spreads, it took entry to this number value here. And the reason why we got into this trade is simply because of a sweep of the Asia lows with London sessions. And then we had a displacement breaking this minor structure here. If you go on the 5 minute, you can see that we're creating these lower highs and lower lows. And then this displacement that you can see by the fair value gap broke this high, which we've marked with this, what do you even call it? This horizontal ray right here. And so we broke this high, and then this is a sign of price going up. We created imbalance. We waited for price to retest the imbalance. It did, and we tried to get in right here, but with spreads, it took us into this entry. And ever since, we've kind of consolidated around this kind of range from entry to here. Like we haven't really closed below this area, and we also haven't closed above. So I will be setting an alert right about here. I am holding this because it's at entry right now, but there is still potential for this to rise to the upside. Now, we did just get negative CAD news. So let me have a look at DXY. It doesn't seem like there was a big reaction on DXY itself. On CAD, let's see. Let's remove the indicators for now. Okay. So there's a big drop off on CAD. DXY had like a little drop off, nothing crazy. So it's not even USD that's really. Ooh, let's have a look at NZDs. NZD dropped as well. Let's have a look at Swiss franc. Everything pretty much dropped, but DXY, which is so interesting despite it being DXY news. Okay, interesting. Okay, let's bring this back. Let's minimize this. So we're going to still continue to hold this. Another reason why I like this buy is because when you zoom out, you can see. I can remove this vertical line now. Give me a second to close my door. Okay. You can see there's a lot of imbalance here because if you go to the weekly, I believe it is, you can see here we have some gaps, right? So from the wick here to the open here. Excuse me. This is the open. This is the gap over here, and then where is it? What's the? Where did I go? It's over here. So drag that across. All right, so this big candle stick is the imbalance. We've come back down. We filled it. To be fair, I think we filled it already. We filled it multiple times. But this area is a discount area, and this is the premium, right? So we got in. To be fair, kind of got in at the midpoint right here, which would have been in the discount area. We also had a sweep of the Asia lows. You see here, although it was pretty much instantly, but we had the sweep there. Then we had the displacement, which broke this structure. And then we had this imbalance created. Price came back down to fill it. We got in on our entry because that's where institutions will protect their orders. Then we are targeting the liquidity or external liquidity that hasn't been touched. So we have created London highs here or equal highs over here, but I'll be targeting these Asia highs up here. This would be the area I'm targeting. So I actually set my TP to 4.6 right here. So yeah, that would be a 1 to 2.69. It would have been, in theory, a 1 to 4.3 if our entry was precise and our TP was already up top. But we'll just continue monitoring this and holding this. But this is the trade that we took. So we were anticipating some of this. So we had a sweep of, this is CAD, we had a sweep of the Asia lows here, or Asia highs first. Then we had a sweep of the Asia lows. When that happens, that's a fuel for a big move. Now, it doesn't guarantee it's going to go upwards, but that was what I was predicting. Sweep up, sweep low, continue up, right? Normally that's the shape, but with news, we just completely obliterated that and just kept plummeting. So this is dropping and fast. AUD CAD was another thing I was looking at the same time of this NZD Swiss franc trade, but price did not come back down to entry. That's the only difference. Price did not come back to the entry, but I would have been in this trade targeting Asia highs. Okay, so there is going to be an element of where we potentially start looking at, okay, is it worth getting in here and setting stop loss tighter versus us waiting for the entry at the midpoint? But for now, we're going to continue with our strategy until we consistently see a pattern. Then we can make an observation or a change. So AD CAD, this is partially also because of news, because CAD is bearish. So that means that anything against CAD will go up, which is what AD CAD is doing. So I cannot say that it's a better trade necessarily, because this doesn't include CAD or USD specifically, meaning that the news impact may not or not have affected us directly. It would have been indirectly. Okay. Okay, so that's that. NZD JPY. We're looking at this displacement. Didn't get a retracement, so I can go back down to watch list. NZD CAD, again, it's another CAD pair. We didn't even come back down to entry anyway, so there's that. That'll be back down into the watch list. ADJPY, we almost came back down, but we didn't come back enough for us to get in. And so that trade is gone, at least for our strategy. Entry's gone. This is already at TP. I can go to watch list. AU, same thing. I wouldn't really want to get into that if it was to come back down. This is definitely not an entry. This is consolidating too much. This is another CAD pair. We were predicting a drop here, and then we're going to see how price reacted, but that's already made its move. And so there we go. USD CAD. Well, not really much we can do about that. That's changed. GJ, again, same thing. Watch list. GP Swiss franc. Good. Euro NZD. Okay, we swept the high. Oh, no, we didn't. We swept the lows only. We haven't had a sweep. So, watch list. Euro CAD. Watch list that again. Swiss franc JPY. I think we're going to leave that alone. Same here. This one looks solid. I don't see a clean displacement though. So I'm gonna keep that in sweep. Hold up. Okay. Well, it's kind of disrespected. Let's watch list. Let's quickly scan through. Okay, I think I'm just gonna continue just holding this rather than like really forcing another entry. The reason why I'm not really liking everything is because with news, normally it's engineering liquidity, but I'm seeing a lot of deliveries to external liquidity. So it's like the move is almost done. Like with this, I would have liked for it to come back into the Asia range for us to really target the Asia high. But this type of displacement, like, would probably need a deep retracement and then a deep push. Like, it's a lot for a Friday afternoon. This is the last trading day of the week, and I'm not really trying to overtrade, and I don't really see any glaring opportunities. Like, for example, this one here, yes, it's swept, but it's also delivered to the Asia highs, which would have been my targets. And technically, it swept this, so then it's like, okay, cool. What if it displaces downwards? Maybe we can enter some sales. But like all of this to happen in the time frame that we have. Is there any other news today? I think there was one. Yeah, there's job opening. So I'm not really feeling a lot of these trades. I'll be so honest. So I think I'm just going to be content with holding this to our targets. So yeah, I think that's that. Delete this. I'll go over something one more time. So yeah, I think I'm good. Just for reference, this is the idea. This is when I entered. You can see I entered just as it was above the black line, but spreads it took it up all the way up here. So yeah, that's the trade we're currently in. And we're just gonna try hold this and monitor it. But we first of all need to break the London high, which is what it should be able to do. And then we're gonna target Asia highs up there. Cool. So yeah, I mean that's it for today. A XAU USD buys. Well, for gold, I'll be honest, I'd wait. Mainly because you have job openings, which is some more red news in about 2 hours. But I'm bullish on the dollar, right? When I'm looking at, let's have a look at gold, right? So the weekly bias, you can see that we're pretty much creating high highs, high lows. We also have some rejection over here. So two of these candlesticks have wicks of rejection to the upside. On the daily, not really that clean, but you can see this huge displacement and this consolidation. We're consolidating within kind of this range right here. Okay, we've been consolidating since March. It's the beginning of the month. Okay, so we're in this discount area, which a discount just simply means that it's cheap and it's going to entice buyers. Now we are bullish on XAUUSD because when we go to DXY, which is the dollar index, we have been consolidating in this range, and again, price was in discount, went up over here. So this is why I would be careful and wait for news because it's at this premium, it could drop, but it's just consolidation, just accumulating orders. So it's not really got like a clear direction. So that's why I'm not really clean. I don't have a clean bias. But if I had to choose, it would probably be bullish. The main thing you would kind of look for would then be liquidity sweeps. I don't know if this indicator doesn't work. What's this? What's this? Okay, so I have liquidity over here. I don't like this indicator. So I just want to get the sessions up. Okay, there we go. So, okay. Asia session has this range. That's the high of the Asia session. That's the low of the Asia session. London has stayed within that range. So Asia range, London range was in that. So what I would wait for is for New York session, which is this orange box. I'll wait for the orange box to appear, which is at roughly, it'll be like in like an hour and a bit. I'll then wait for it to take the highs and then look for sells, or I'll wait for it to do this and then do this. Right, so I'll wait for one of these two things. Either it comes that down, takes out the lows, and then we aim for the highs, which is external liquidity, or it takes out the highs and we aim for low external liquidity. The reason why I'm saying that, and I'll probably prefer, probably prefer sells here. And this is why we have this huge displacement on the, was it 4 hour or the daily? The daily. Okay, wait, the daily is actually for the 4 hourly. Okay, cool. Right there. So look for a sweep of the highs and then a displacement downwards. That's pretty much it. And again, this is the trade we're in. It's currently in profit, which is good. And then we just need to hit the targets and we're good for the day. So yeah, I'm not going to trade too much today. It's a Friday. We have more news coming up. So I'm not really trying to enter that many trades today. And yeah, I'm good with the amount we've entered. So I'm going to call it a day. I probably will go live later this evening just to do some studying. And then we'll study together watching some Inner Circle Traders videos and his 2022 mentorship. And then we'll go from there. And yeah, it's a pretty chill day. It's not, I think it's a profitable week. Very calm, nothing crazy happening, just casually ticking along. We're getting better. app, selecting entries and selecting trades to take, which is a good thing. So yeah, I'm gonna keep updated. Telegram is where it's at. It's a free app and it's also a free server. It's just gonna be showing you the trades I take, all the ideas I have, and just to keep myself accountable, and you can see everything live. So yeah, thank you guys once again for tuning in. For everybody that tuned in, that commented, that will comment, that watched this back, I appreciate all of you. This is day 24. We're gonna be day 25 tomorrow, so we're gonna keep that consistency up, and I look forward to tomorrow. So thank you guys once again. It's me, your boy CJ. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.